Phillipa O Wirangi here, and we have another episode of Meet the Community. Today I have with me the beautiful Willow Shanks, who lives in the beautiful, sunny, bright Western Australia / WA. And Willow is a mum to two beautiful children. She's a wife. Her husband is amazing as well. I've met them both before. And Willow has been a traditional business owner for such a long time and has also stepped into the online business world. So welcome, Willow. So awesome to have you here. I'd love to start off with just kind of sharing a little bit about you being a traditional business owner. What was the thought in your head where you decided maybe there's something else I could be doing as well, and you stepped into online?
Yeah, thank you, Phillipa. It's really great to be here. So I've been a traditional business owner actually since I was quite young. So I actually started in business when I was 21, and I'm actually in the fitness industry. So for those of you that know the fitness industry, it's a lot of hours, and it's very much something that you do out of passion and a love for people. So my dream has always been to help people, but then I thought, wow, maybe there's a real opportunity in that I could also help people and turn it into a career as well, not just something that I was passionate about, but something that I could really set up for my future. Why I guess kind of looked towards online business in the end as well is that I realized when I kind of got to my mid-30s that I had created an entire business and future for myself that I decided when I was very young. And when I was 21 and I was, a single girl and I had no kids and I didn't have my partner and I had all that kind of time and freedom in the world, I built this amazing, incredible business. But then when I was a mum and I was mid-30s and I had my partner and my home and a baby and a 4-year-old and all this stuff, I realized that I was significantly restricted in my time and my finances and what I could actually do with it. So I started to realize that I'd built myself something that I was incredibly passionate about in business, but also quite a beautiful prison. Like I was quite trapped by the constraints of what I had created. So I just started looking out there, like what else could there be that I could be really passionate about, and what new skill set could I learn such that I could, spend more time with my kids, but also make the type of income and money that I wanted to.
Yeah, beautiful. And I know so many of us, we have such a heart for helping people, which, as you just said, but for you, who are those people that your heart beats the loudest for, that you see them and you really want to help them the most?
Oh, look, there's many. I lost my father when I was like, a young adolescent. So I lost my father to, an illness that was probably quite preventable. So for me, that was always something that really hits home, is like, how can I help people with illnesses or ailments that can be treated or can be worked through health and good lifestyle and things like that. That was like when I was in my traditional business, which I still do own, and I still do like run my gym. I just have it managed out by other people. In the business that I'm on now, like in the online space, utilizing the Freedom Era and what we do, I'm really passionate about helping like mums. Like I look at women maybe that were like myself, but maybe didn't enter into business before they had kids. Like I had this one problem where I created this thing that I loved and then had a family and went, oh my God, I can't make it all work at one time. But I really feel for the mums that maybe had children early and had all these dreams and visions and things that they had to put on hold because they never got to start creating it. These women that maybe get to like 35, 40, 45 and are starting there. Like those are the people that I really want to help now.
That's so good. Yes, love it. And so for you, getting started into the Freedom Era, into the community, how long has it been for you since you've been part of the community? And also, what were like some of the key reasons why you jumped all in and said yes?
Yeah, well, I started back in late 2018, so it's not been quite 2 years yet. Like I looked at, when I originally started, I put my business hat on and I looked at it and went, you know what, like people can make incredible money a particular way. And I was like, how is that even possible? You know, I had really learned that I had to trade my time for money. Like I had to go to work. I had to be at the gym at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. I had to work till like 9, 10 o'clock at night. And that was how I made my money. And then when I started looking into the freedom and the freedom era and what was possible from people leveraging the online space, I started to go, hang on a minute, I could do things in the pockets of time that suited me at home around my kids. Like I didn't actually have to physically go to a job. Like I could do it in my own home. I also looked at the compensation, like how we get paid online, things like that. And I started to go, it seemed just a lot easier. To be fair, I was like, you know, like I'm used to working for the paycheck. And then that's kind of capped, like your limitation on what you can earn kind of stops somewhere. Whereas, you know, if you're working online, you get to create your hours, you get to show up how much you want to show up. You get to earn, I guess, the capacity of what you want to put out there. So I really looked at it from that. It was really around time and like potential earnings. And then the surprising benefit was the community. Like, and this is, I tell people about this all the time and they ask me, they're like, what do you love most about the freedom era? It is 100% the community. Like the supportive vibe, like the people that I work with, the people that we show up and mentor one another on a daily basis, new people getting started that inspire me with their passion, their enthusiasm, and like their drive for life. There's just something about this space that's almost indescribable. Like I know I just described it and I hope I did it well, but like and everyone that enters raves about the same thing. Like I hear it over and over and over again. So I started like for the money and time. And not only did I get that, but then I got the benefit of like really finding my new best friends online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so definitely cool. Been a theme across all of the Meet the Community interviews that I've done so far is community always comes up, and people come in thinking, oh, I'm going to be in this because I want to make money.
Yes.
And then they're like, whoa, this community thing is so much more powerful, and you can really feel that within you.
Yeah.
You've been to like a few events now within the community.
Yes.
Let us know like what your experience has been at those events as well, and really being able to see people in person and to learn new skills as well.
Yeah, so I am a massive advocate and fan of going to live events. And there's just something about it, like any of you that have gone to a live concert versus watching it on TV, or a live sporting match, you know, like you might not even be interested in football or cricket or rugby. I don't know, like you're sitting in the stands and all of a sudden you're like this raving mad fan. There's just something that infuses you from being at live events. And every time that I've been to one of the events that has been run by this community, I have been left with the experience of like expanded times 10. Like I just know myself as bigger, and my knowledge of what we do expands. And I always describe it as it's the perfect combination of like personal development and business with a little bit of spirit and heart kind of all rolled into one. It really is true about when you go to these events, you will meet such like-minded individuals that are just like you, that it will be hard to describe to your friends and family, because I think we feel like we grow up in one area or one community and that should be your best friends and your family for life. But often we have those friends because we went to that school or we lived in that one location. But suddenly you step into the freedom era and you find a bunch of like really driven, passionate, committed individuals that are so much like either you now or the you that you want to be, that it literally becomes everything that you've been looking for. So I love it. And, not to say anything about my current friends are fantastic, but we all they can really see like that I'm now part of a community that is inspiring me to be bigger and better. And they love that too.
Yes, 100%. And what's your favorite book to read that is like personal development, business growth type book, and why?
There are so many. I'm like looking at my bookshelf. I mean, there's all the classics. Like, I think everyone starts out with things like the 4-Hour Work Week and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's a lot of love for, books like The Magic, which is all about gratitude and things like that. I think I honestly couldn't put it down to one. One that I'm looking forward to reading is one that I've resisted reading for a long time, the 5 a.m. Club. Because I just, fitness industry, I've always been able to start late and work late. So I'm not really much of an early riser. So I'm scared to read that book because I feel like it's going to make me be one of those people that sets my alarm for 4:45 in the morning. And I just don't want to be her yet. I kind of want to, I'm still committed to doing things on my terms, and that's a 7 a.m. alarm, even with kids.
Yeah, yeah, that's so funny. It's so funny how we know that there's more growth to happen, but then we refuse to go there because we're just like, I don't want to go there yet. I'm happy.
I'm not ready for 5 a.m. starts. Yeah, I recommend the classics. Honestly, I just really believe there are a lot of fundamental books. Like if you're reading books around gratitude, you're reading books around understanding business and investing. A lot of people rave about like the Barefoot Investor. Rich Dad Poor Dad is actually really cool. He's kind of like the original, I reckon. That sort of started us on that entrepreneurial trend. But I follow some, great people, but they're people that we've all heard of, like Brené Brown, Tony Robbins. I think if you just surround yourself with positive, great mentors, which is why I love the Freedom Era community as well, because you can forever be watching, vlogs, you can be reading blogs, you can be watching and listening to podcasts and videos and recordings and live trainings. And it just, when you surround yourself with that much like positivity and visualization, it just infuses you.
Yeah, 100%. And so, speaking of visualization, what is your vision for yourself, for your business, for your family, for your future?
Wow, there's so much. So we live in a really, not remote, but we live quite regional in Western Australia, and I moved here specifically for my business. So we don't have any family like locally where we are. We're about a 6-hour drive from the nearest family member. So my vision and dream is to really get closer to family. My partner is from the UK, so he's also a long way from family, but our dream lifestyle, we were thinking about in the next year, hoping to travel all around Australia and just really like get on the road with our boys and do homeschooling and do that type of thing. COVID's kind of closed those plans down a little bit for the time being, but it's still on our vision board. But just moving to a location that's much closer to family and being able to continue with the lifestyle that we're already most of the way there to doing it, like really living life on our terms, working our own hours, and just being surrounded by family and friends. I love a mixture of like, it's hard. I'm so coastal. My father was a skipper of boats, so I'm so coastal, but I love inland, and I love modern, but I love like old wooden style houses. So a combination of like having all those things tied in together. Maybe I need a home in both locations.
Yeah, amazing. And so for anyone that is watching this that maybe like a traditional business owner and wanting to step into something online, and they've been holding themselves back because of whatever reason there is, what would your advice be to them in terms of just taking the plunge and getting started?
Yeah, I think it's not limiting yourself to what you've always known. So one of the biggest concerns for me was, like, I've been in this industry of fitness since I was 15. So by the time I had decided to take the leap, it had been 20 years in one industry. And I was like, okay, but that's what I've always done. So that's what I should do because that's what I'm good at. But I think just trusting that you can learn a new skill set, no matter what your age and no matter what your career. And it's okay to grant yourself permission to take on and do something new. Like someone once said to me, it's been a good innings, Willow. You're allowed to do what you want with your life. You don't have to always do what you've always done just because you've always done it. So I think just, and knowing that you can have it all, like you don't have to let go of your traditional business just because you're taking on learning a new skill set and a new income stream. That's the goal, isn't it, for all of us, is not to go too fast. But if you've already been creating one income stream and you're doing it well, why can't you add another? Like it's really about expanding your horizons and setting up your future for what you want it to look like, which is ultimately not having to work in your business all day long, like being able to have that automation, being able to have that time freedom.
Yeah, amazing. Really, really good advice. Thank you so much, Willow, for being on here with me today. And if you are watching this, please let us know in the comments, what is something that you have received from this conversation with Willow? What's maybe like something that you're going to try out, or a book that she mentioned that you may have, that you would like to read, let us know down in the comments